That is right, guys. That is a TNA Impact theme song. Hello, everybody. This is Pro Talk Wrestling. This is your host, Nate the Great. Happy Friday to you guys. Holy cow. Woo! Yay! So much to talk about. We got Impact Wrestling. We got NXT. We also got a couple things that went down at SmackDown this past week. It's going to be very interesting. But before we get into that, got a couple announcements I got to make up. This is indeed episode 96, which you know what that means. 4 more episodes left, guys. 4 more episodes, and then Pro Talk Wrestling will cease to be. It will indeed be done and over with. March 27th will be the final show date. We will have more info on that in the upcoming week. Special guests will be the Squared Circles, Max Beatty, and Spencer Hart. It is going to be a special 3-hour show, guys. It is something you definitely do not want to miss. It'll be live. You guys can ask your questions during the show, send us tweets, send us whatever you want. It is going to be a great show. You definitely do not want to miss it. Once again, March 27th, time, it will indeed be mentioned on Twitter this week. But going from there to something that's brighter news. Brighter news, congratulations have to go out to Davey Richards and Angelina Love, who yesterday gave birth to their first newborn baby son, Davey. So, Angelina Love, Davey Richards, congratulations on the kid. For those of you that did not know, that you can actually check out in the archive section, I had an interview with Angelina Love about a couple of months ago. The first 3 minutes are indeed, they're not bleeped out or anything like that. You just don't hear anything for like the first 3 minutes. I apologize for that. It was one of those moments where I guess I just did not think that the microphone was not on, I guess you could say. But it was still one of those things that was a great interview. Definitely check it out. It should be entitled Angelina Love. It was a few months ago, so you might have to go down pretty far, but it is definitely worth listening to. Angelina Love, David Richards, all the love, all the support. Congratulations to you guys. And for a big set of news, you might have heard of this small place called WhatCulture.com. Well, I am proud to say that I have actually an interview from one of the members of the WhatCulture.com. She is from the Pachiti Club, but now is a part of the B Generation X, the Blampier Generation X, whatever thing. I don't know. I don't know. You guessed it. It is indeed Susie Kennedy. Haha, had to say that. She will indeed be guest starring on the show on Tuesday, March 22nd. You guys definitely do not want to miss out on that. You can ask your questions. Be sure to send us tweets. Be sure to send us comments during the show. I'm going to make it a live show so that way you guys don't miss out on it. It's going to be epic. It's going to be great. March 22nd with Susie Kennedy. Times are going to be definitely posted up very soon. All right. So, I'm already winded, and we haven't even gotten to talking about everything that went down. I mean, it is a great week for professional wrestling. I just got done listening to the Squared Circle podcast, and I couldn't agree with them more. Monday Night Raw was a great show, and then we go into a TNA show, which a lot of people might say, that seems like it's not going to really do that much, but you got to listen to what happened, you guys. It is honestly one of the things that it just tugged on my heartstrings. I was so happy. So let's just get right into it. TNA kicked off with Mr. EY, Eric Young, taking on the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy and Eric Young coming back, fighting against each other in the special live edition of Impact. And what a show it was. This first matchup, great between these two guys. They actually have a pretty interesting chemistry against each other, but they did a great job kicking off the show, and Jeff Hardy wins with the Swanton Bomb. And apparently what happened was he was going to be inserted into the main event of the evening, which was the world title match between Matt Hardy and EC3, but now it's changed into a triple threat match. Matt Hardy came out, and he said, hey, congratulations on your victory, and he talks about how much important it is to have family, to appreciate family, and that he promises to give Jeff Hardy a world title opportunity at Bound for Glory 2017 or 2018, something like that. But Jeff's just said, no, I'm in the main event. And he tries, using Matt Hardy tried using his son, he tried using his wife to really make Jeff Hardy reconsider. He's trying to use the family card, but Jeff Hardy just said, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. You don't control my destiny. I do. And I'm going to be in the main event tonight. So unfortunately, that just did not work out for them. So the main event is indeed still a triple threat match, and it is a very interesting match to say the least. We go into another matchup that happened. It was a mixed tag team match. It was The Miracle, Mike Bennett, and Maria taking on the Chosen One, Drew Galloway, and the TNA Knockouts champion, Gail Kim. Wow, this was a very, very interesting matchup to see because we finally get to see the possibility of Maria and Gail Kim finally locking up with each other. In the end, we see Gail Kim hit the Eat Defeat on Mike Bennett, and Drew Galloway hit him with the Claymore. Took it out to the outside, but Gail Kim got rolled up by Maria for the quick 1-2-3, and Maria now has a pinfall victory over Gail Kim, and Mike Bennett is still undefeated. Damn, the world. Oh, man. But I still love that these guys are heels. They are just tremendous in the ring together, and I think that the Miracle, Mike Bennett, and Maria are just going to go above and beyond. They're really filling in the gap that EC3 left when he turned babyface. Because when you have a guy like EC3 who is just so perfect as a heel, he was really hard to just, fill in, to replace. And he still will be very irreplaceable. But Mike Bennett and Maria are just doing a great job, just, kind of filling that void a little bit, and at least you have something that you can work with. All right, we go into an interview segment with the Destroyer, Bobby Lashley. Josh Matthews talks about, why he did what he did, and Lashley just says, hey, I'm not a sentimental guy. I am not, looking for friends. I am a fighter. I'm here to destroy. I'm here to beat people up. And this was a really good interview by Lashley. I think that he really came out on his own in this interview. There's still probably some kinks here and there that he could really work on, but at the same time, he's definitely becoming something very, very special. He's becoming a very dominant force. He actually knocked down Josh and was going to set him up for the spear, but the Pope said, hey, don't even think about it. And Lashley's just like, okay. Pope checks on Josh Matthews, but then gets speared by Lashley, and Pope was not able to do commentary throughout the rest of the night. Oh, so we're stuck with Josh Matthews, and who do we have to fill in? Jeremy Borash. So there was no chance of there being a possibility of having, maybe Mike Tenay or Don West come back. I mean, they were really good for, ever in TNA. No? Okay, I'll just sit in this corner here and just cry myself in a fetal position. All right, I need to move on. Happy place. Okay, so Eddie Edwards is backstage talking about his how about Davey Richards suffering a torn ACL injury. That really is one of those things that just sucks. I mean, it's one of those things that you look at and think, wow, how is it that you can go from seeing Neville having basically his shin, his ankle fractured, to having Davey Richards having a torn ACL? And the sad thing is that it's the second time in about a year that that wrestling's suffered something like that. I know there's probably a lot more on the independent scenes, but I'm talking televised, everything like that. These guys are on top of their games, and next thing you know, they are getting this injury out of nowhere, and it really hurts their momentum. It just really sucks. But Eddie Edwards talks about how, Dave Richards is going to come back, stronger than ever, everything like that. The DK came out. Well, why does it sound like I'm saying Donkey Kong? DK as in, flesh decaying. Not DK Donkey Kong, although that would be kind of funny. They beat up on Eddie Edwards, and that will lead to a 6-man tag match between Eddie Edwards, Beer Money, and DK. So we'll get into that in just a bit. EC3 and Jeff Hardy have a little bit of a interesting, interesting deal backstage where they talk about, You show a lot of respect for each other, and they tell that, hey, I'm going to win the title. No, I'm going to win the title, so we'll see what happens. DK faces off with Beer Money and Eddie Edwards in a very, pretty okay matchup. It ends with Rosemary spitting mist in Eddie's face. Crazy Steve getting a low blow in on Eddie and rolls him up for the 1-2-3. I think that DK is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. They just need the right kind of momentum, and I just don't think that having them lose consistently is going to really help them out that much. But I think they're getting on the right track, though. So, thankfully, we got that. And then comes the... Oh, boy. You talk about another pointless deal in professional wrestling. The whole thing with Grado and Eli Drake. Now, there is crucial evidence that Eli Drake did switch his briefcase with Grado, and he probably was the one that was supposed to get fired, and not Grado. But there is no concrete evidence. It just shows, oh, okay, this happened with the briefcase, so what happened? Is it like, he just looked like it because he knew there were security cameras or something like that? It was a really pointless segment. It followed up with a ladder match with, if Grado wins, he can work with TNA again, but if Eli Drake wins, that he could just rip up the contract and Grado won't be seen in Impact again. Grado wins, yay, I guess. Grado and TNA is what Eugene was in WWE. That's just that's all I have to say about that. I'm moving on from that. Happy place. Thank you. Woo! All right, get on to the main event, the triple threat match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And it is a no disqualification triple threat match. Great. And it really turned out to be quite a knockdown drag-about brawl. Matt Hardy, EC3, and Jeff Hardy just really tore down the house. Unfortunately, we had to deal with the fact that Bram and EY came out, and they just attacked Jeff Hardy and pile drove him into the concrete on the floor. It was between Matt and EC3. Okay, fair enough. Then we see Mike Bennett come out, and he attacks EC3. Okay. Why? Because there really hasn't been that much in the way of interaction between EC3 and Mike Bennett. So it's kind of like, it's like they don't even have any concrete storylines going on. I mean, the only concrete storyline that seems to be going on right now is the one between Maria and Gail Kim, and a little bit of what's going on with EC3 and Matt Hardy. I think that's one of the things that's going to hurt TNA horribly. It's just not going to help them out at all. Or maybe it's for a grander scheme, because Matt Hardy, after EC3 and Mike Bennett were attacking each other, he's just saying, like, oh, I'm the champ, nobody can beat me, blah, 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 blah. And then you hear Drew Galloway's music hit, and he came out with his briefcase, and he says, I'm cashing it in, so we get a world title matchup between Matt Hardy and Drew Galloway. Matt Hardy went for the twist of fate, but Drew Galloway slips away, counters with the Claymore, and then picks him up. Future Shock DDT, 1, 2, 3. Your new TNA World Heavyweight Champion is Drew freaking Galloway. And I can die happy. Oh my gosh. When I saw the 1, 2, 3 hit and Drew Galloway's arm was raised with the title belt, I honestly almost cried. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you. There is a God. I was so supremely happy. Drew Galloway, who I also had on this show in August, definitely want to check that out, you guys. A great interview. But nothing to take away from the world title matchup. This was